Hello and welcome everyone to Women Speakers Association's wsa-tv. I'm Laura Rubenstein, your host and producer and digital media and marketing strategist and author of Social Media Myths Busted, the small business guide to online revenue. We have a fabulous show today. The whole topic is accelerating success for women and other professionals. And I've got a team of experts here who I'm chomping at the bit to introduce to you to. And we're going to have a great show about giving you advice on how do you actually accelerate your success. So let's go say hi to them. Hi, Corinna.
Hi, Laura. My name is Corinna Stoeffl, and I'm chiming in from Santa Fe in New Mexico, the highest and oldest capital in the U.S. I'm a life coach, and I'm also the author of the book, A Different World, Perceiving Possibilities.
Beautiful. Wonderful to have you here. Thanks. And let's say hi to Silvia.
Hi, Laura. I'm Silvia Young, and I'm a women's health advocate based here in San Francisco. I'm also the author of a book, Now What? When Life Gets in the Way of Living, and the co-founder of an endometriosis magazine focused on women's health and women's reproductive health called uniteendo.org.
Wonderful.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. And let's say hi to Regina.
Hi, Laura and everyone. I'm a transformational leadership coach. I'm based in New York. I'm the founder of Transform Your Performance, a diversity advocate and lover, and the author of Speak Up, Stand Out, and Shine, Speak Powerfully in Any Situation.
Wonderful. Thanks for being here. And Francine. Hi, Francine.
Hi, Laura, and my name is Francine Tone, and I'm the managing partner of the law offices of Tone and Tone, and I'm also the author of the book, What Every Good Lawyer Wants You to Know, an insider's guide on how to reduce stress, reduce cost, and get the most from your lawyer. And I'm calling in here today from Truckee, California in the Lake Tahoe region.
Awesome. I'm so excited you all are here. Today's topic is all about accelerating success, and with the various backgrounds you have and the wisdom you have, we're just going to dive right in and learn, what does it take to accelerate this success? We're in a time in our history that when we stand up and do that, we can make a bigger impact. And that's what our show is about, making a bigger impact in the world. So I wanted to hear, Corinna, from you and your wisdom, what advice do you have to help viewers accelerate success?
One of the most valuable tools that I can give my clients is to teach them to ask open-ended questions. We tend to ask questions expecting an answer, and that is not really helping us, because then we already open just one door instead of open a multitude of doors where we can see possibilities from which we can choose. And so an open-ended question like, what else is possible? Or one that I've used the last few days, what's right about this that I'm not getting, could really make a humongous change in a person's life.
Wow. And it gets us totally unstuck. What's right about this situation when we're in a pattern of thinking, this is terrible, right?
Exactly. we tend to go to judgment, and often a question already contains a form of judgment. Like, why did I act that stupid? I already decided that I acted stupid. It's not really a question.
Yeah. So we really open up something, like you said, when we say, no, what's right about this? Even though I feel stupid, it doesn't matter. There might be something very beautiful in there. So
very perfect.
Yeah, wow, yes. That is a huge accelerator. What I see is the judgment questions are the brakes, and the open-ended questions are the gas.
Correct. Yes, I like your analogy.
There you go. All right. Well, thanks for that wisdom. We're pressing on the gas, and we're going to move over to Silvia and your advice for, accelerating personal and professional success.
Well, first, I love that. I love that advice, and I love that analogy. That is great. Mine more talks to the what happens when you're faced with tragedy. How do you get unstuck? I mean, tragedy happens to everyone, whether you're divorced or what have you. Mine happens to be women's health. I have 5 main steps. One is validation of your experience, brings you out of isolation. It's very important. The second step is authenticity. Start being honest with yourself, because it gets easier. 3, education. Knowledge is always power. 4, explore your community, but protect your bubble. And 5, find a mentor and be a mentor. And that's why I'm here today.
Wow. What I love about that, Sylvia, is a roadmap, because when we're facing something really challenging, we're often like deer in headlights. What do I do? And we go down that path, Corinna, you were talking about, like judging. So when we can ask ourselves a question, could be like, what's my next step? Then we can take your steps.
Exactly.
Sylvia,
It
I
works
love
so
it.
well together.
Yeah. So, like I said, we have experts with wisdom here. And so let's go to our next expert, Regina. What wisdom do you have for people to continue on the accelerating success path?
Well, often when I speak to women, they say, I find it really challenging to speak up in a meeting, or I get overlooked when it comes to promotions. And what happens for many of us women, especially my generation, we were brought up to blend in. But when we blend in, others get the promotions, others get the business, and others get the clients. So it's really important to embrace your authentic uniqueness, your distinctive uniqueness, as I call it. And Silvia said before, it's important to be authentic. So what I advise my clients is to make a list of 20 unique assets. And I call them unique assets. They are unique qualities, but I call them unique assets because some of them are worth gold. And oftentimes we're not even aware of them before we actually really start to think about them. So what these could be is skills, talents, stories, experiences, personality traits, maybe even a smile. And oftentimes we don't know. And then we could also send out a survey monkey maybe to 10 of our friends and just ask them what they appreciate in us, and use that more specifically to drive our success.
Wow. I love that, being able to acknowledge ourselves and what is our unique talents. Because a lot of times, don't you hear for this from other people? It's like, oh, that's not a talent. That's just what I do.
Exactly. Because it's easy for us, but it's not easy for others, right? So that's why we have those unique talents, because, there's 7.4 billion people on this earth right now, and no one has the same DNA as we have. So no one has the same talents, skills, none of that. And we really need to acknowledge that, use it, and embrace it.
And then gift it to other people.
Yes.
I love it.
That's what we do it for.
And Francine, I want to run over to you here now and say, okay, we've got the visibility, acknowledging who we are, asking the right questions, and then taking this pathway that I love, Silvia, you gave us to success. Now, I know you work with people professionally, you have this legal background. What advice do you have for people who want to accelerate their success?
Well, thank you, Regina, for bringing up the fact that everybody is unique and we all have a talent, because we have to get that talent out to people to the point where they actually take notice of the talent. And the way to really set yourself apart from all the other talent out there is to deliver what I call customer service on steroids. And this is something I'm advocating in my profession as an attorney. And it really comes down to this. Good service today isn't good enough. You have to stand out among lots of people who provide good service. So you have to go the extraordinary, that extra length, one more step beyond. And one tip that I would give to you, one thing that you can really do that would really take it to that next level, is to anticipate your client or your customer's need. Try to get to know them, develop a relationship so that you have a trusting relationship with your client or customer, so that you can anticipate, just like your spouse, you can usually anticipate someone you're close with, what they need next. So by doing that, you're actually going that little bit more. That's that step beyond. And that's how people are going to notice you and be able to pick up on your talents, your gift, and create lifelong clients.
I love it. And, all of us know, Francine, when we go somewhere and it's a business or it's a commercial place, and people lay out the red carpet, so to speak, or they give you something in addition to what you were expecting, but it's so valuable and perfect for that service you're getting or that experience or product. It's like, wow, you want to tell other people about it. You create like viral recommendations, word of mouth. So I think that's so powerful. So once, let's pull all this advice together. You're asking open-ended questions, you're getting unstuck, you're taking that pathway to success, you're showing up more powerfully, knowing that you have these gifts to offer, and then you're offering them, like Francine, you just said, in a way that anticipates people's needs and providing that customer service on steroids. Wow, mind-blowing advice here. It's great. There's no failure here. There's total accelerated success. So if anybody's wondering what to do next, any one of these pieces of advice is perfect. Now, let's talk about who you are as leaders in the world and how you work with people, because we know you have incredible wisdom to share, and I want everybody to understand who you are. So, Corinna, I'd love to start with you and tell us who you work with and what you do with them and the passion you have for this work.
I primarily work with women. Usually they are in the age range between 35 and 65. What I do is show them where they are limiting themselves. And my ideal client is somebody who knows more is possible, but isn't quite sure how to get there. And so through facilitating them with the question, teaching them about being with themselves in a questioning way, they can discover what it is that is limiting them and what they are willing to let go of and make the next few steps to have more than what they have currently.
I love that. Wow. And I love your website. It's beinginawareness.com. And this is exactly what you just said. And so do you have an example or story of how you help someone do that?
Yes, on Facebook recently, I had a friend that just posted, I'm having difficulties. She didn't go into anything. And my awareness was to just send her 2 questions and say, just be with the question and see what happens. And I let it be. Later in the day, I went back into Facebook and checked some messages. And there was a message from her in return that basically said, Corinna, I am so grateful for what the questions that you gave me, because they gave me a hell of a lot of awareness so much faster than I ever expected to come to with the issue that I'm dealing with. And so she was able to move on, just being willing to be with 2 questions. They gave her clarity.
Yep.
It's
the power
really,
of questions.
Exactly. It's really very powerful tool.
Wonderful. Thank you for that. And I'd like to also get to know a little bit more about you, Silvia, and your work and who you work with and what you do with them.
Well, that was so inspiring. Thank you for that story. I also work with women, exclusively women, because I am a women's health advocate, and I focus more on endometriosis and reproductive rights. With endometriosis, if you're not familiar with it, it's a disease that affects 1 in 10 women. And it feels like giving birth instead of a period. And it starts off on your period, then it's also your period and ovulation, and then it's every single day. It takes 7 to 10 years to be diagnosed. And by the time these women even know what's really going on, and they've been in isolation for so long with this pain because it's such a taboo subject, it's just a shame. So what I do is find these women out of isolation, and I bring them into a group that I call Unite Endo California. And what we're doing is we're going to lobby for our reproductive health rights so that endometriosis can be taught at medical schools and our OBGYNs know what it is.
Oh, fabulous.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
Yeah, talk about accelerating success for women and when they have their full health. I love it. Thank you. And their full rights. So tell us about someone you've worked with and how you've helped them.
Well, actually, I have a really touching story, touching for me, and I hope you feel the same way. But at a recent event where we were seeing a documentary called Endo What, one of the girls that we had found and pulled into our group hugged me at the end and told me she was one of those girls in isolation. She had no idea that there was another woman with the exact same story that she had. We were there with a group of women. She now had a sisterhood. We cried together, we hugged, and it really validated that I'm on the right path to what I'm supposed to be doing with my life.
And I'm sure they got some more support with that too, huh?
Yes.
Awesome. Wow. What a gift and a service you're doing. Thank you so much. And Regina, tell us about the people you work with and what you do with them.
Sure. So I work with my signature system, Powerful Leadership Transformation. And with that system, I help companies create more powerful women leaders who do not drop out on their way to the top. And they know by now that they can, in this way, actually increase their bottom line, but they still have a huge problem retaining them. And with the women themselves, what I do is I help professional women, both entrepreneurs and corporate executives, step into their best professional selves and into their role as leaders. Because I believe that as leaders, we women can all create more wealth for our companies, our communities, our families, our clients even, and ourselves. Oh. And here's my signature system, just to explain that briefly. So it focuses on an empowering mindset, your distinctive uniqueness, a body conscious and energy conscious presence, and as a result, effective action.
Wow. Fabulous. Sounds like there could be a power team up here between Silvia and Regina at the very least. There might be even more.
Yeah.
Great. Awesome. So Regina, tell me, do you have a story of how you worked with someone in this way?
Yeah, so I do teach workshops as well, but with this specific person, I worked in a one-on-one coaching program, and she was a corporate executive and she wanted to move up to the next level. But actually what she ended up doing is she skipped a level just by taking the leap to apply for a promotion that she wasn't even considering. So oftentimes we women don't consider applying because we think we're not qualified, but that's, in most cases, that's actually not true. So that's, she needed some help redefining her own qualities and her own qualifications, and also to just express it in a more powerful way. Because I found when I read her emails, when she addressed the specific promotion with the decision makers, she would constantly underestimate herself and undervalue herself and what she's capable of. So as we know, women tend to be judged for what they have done and men for their potential. So we actually need to nudge it up a level and not underestimate ourselves so much.
Wow, powerful. Thank you for that work you do. And I want to jump over to Francine now and learn more about what you do and who you work with and the power of your work.
Well, a lot of my work obviously is with my clients because I am an attorney, but I'm also working with attorneys now. And I really appreciate the comments that Silvia and Regina have made and Corinna about this disconnect. There's a disconnect between multiple levels, and particularly Silvia, where there's a disconnect between health providers and those who need the assistance. And this is what I'm seeing in the legal profession, is that there's a disconnect between what the lawyer is doing and what the client feels needs to be done. And the disconnect comes actually because there's good lawyers get kind of involved in the law and doing the work, but sometimes they kind of forget that the client needs some attention and a little deeper attention than just getting a copy of some document that they prepared. And this is where the customer service on steroids really comes in. And so my goal is to train the lawyer, prime the lawyer up for customer service on steroids, train the staff, and I wrote the book to help train the client so that that client can be prepared to be an active and valuable participant in the process.
Wow. So you can get your own great customer service by being that active client, right. But ideally the lawyer is very aware of that too. So how did you come to this work?
I came to this. I've been in the legal profession for now almost 40 years. I started out as a legal secretary and worked my way through every job in an office. And then I went to law school and became a lawyer. And before I became a lawyer, what I noticed was this disconnect. And I saw lawyers getting frustrated and they're exhausted and clients are, pounding the door for information. And I said, this is not a great way to practice law. And I vowed this was not going to happen to me. And it hasn't. I'm not saying clients don't have moments where they're unhappy and frustrated, but I've developed a system where I have dream clients. They understand the work I'm trying to do for them. I also give them the little extra time. I treat them as valued customers. I deliver customer service on steroids, and no matter what the result is, and these are clients who we've lost, people have gone to prison, and they still think I'm their champion, and they love me dearly, and I love them. And I think it's you can do this. Lawyers can do this and be a thriving lawyer. And this is how lawyers will find balance in their lives, and customers and clients will have a better opinion of lawyers.
And it seems like like you said, they'll feel better about the work they do. They'll do better work, and the customers will be even more happy.
That's right.
I think it's really a holistic approach. Thank you for that. I just want to put back on the screen here for everyone, everyone's picture and website, because the advice given here today was so powerful, so inspiring, and can impact people's lives in an incredible way. So any viewer, if you want to be in touch with any of these women, please go to their websites. Please look them up online. They're here for you. On the show notes, you'll see also on the video page their way to contact them the best way and more about them. So please be in touch. And what I want to wrap up today with is a little bit about Women Speakers Association, because as you can see, we are a network of women that empower each other. We inspire global transformation through influence and the impact we're making. So I'd like to hear from each of you what had you join Women Speakers Association? What are you loving about it so far at this point? So Corinna, why don't you weigh in?
For me, what I really cherish about the Women Speaker Association is the company of experienced speakers. I'm a newbie relatively on the scene, and having so many professional, experienced speakers sharing their knowledge, giving me tips on how to do a presentation, how to structure it, the flow, and all of that, I find incredibly valuable.
Yes, that's what we do here. It's awesome. And Silvia, what do you love about Women Speakers Association?
You know, when I first spoke to Gail and introduced myself and what my story was, I had explained that I had been behind the scenes for 25 years in public relations, writing speeches for others, ghostwriting their books, and so forth, and getting them in front. What I found was the sisterhood and the mentorship to get me in front and to tell my story. And therefore, what I'm doing it already is paying it forward to other girls in my group and encouraging them the tips that I'm getting from you ladies.
Wow. Thank you. And I just want to move on over to Regina. What do you love about Women Speakers Association?
Well, I love what an amazing community of women it is, and what an incredible pool of resources and wisdom it is. So there's this constant exchange of resources, and it's also critical for our own visibility and for that of the other women, that we can probably refer to somebody once we get to know them, like today. And I also, of course, now at this very moment, I appreciate the opportunity to get my book out, because it is written for speakers, and it includes tools on how to mentally, physically, and energetically prepare for speaking, which is sometimes neglected. So, and I look forward to receiving all the other resources from the other women at the same time.
And resources we are rich in. So thank you for that. And Francine, how about you? What do you love about Women Speakers Association?
I love the fact that it's such a great group of collaborative women who are here to support each other. And I just feel that by combining all of our efforts, we really can transform the world. And I'm just honored that I can be a part of this association.
And that's what we are here to do, to collaborate and bring together women. So for those of you who are interested in joining or learning more about it, I want to invite you to come over to joinwsa.com. If you go to joinwsa.com, you'll find there's a free level of membership waiting for you there. And we welcome you into the fold. If you want to get higher visibility and more support, we have a great premier member access for you. And that's what each of the experts here today are offering for you. So we'll see you over at joinwsa.com, and we'll see you back here for another episode of wsa-tv. Bye for now, everyone.
Bye.
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 Bye.